Chosen one, you already know why you're here. This is no accident. This is no coincidence. The moment you pressed play, heaven shifted. The divine forces that have been waiting on you are now standing at full attention. The air is heavy with destiny, and your spirit can feel it. This is your moment of reckoning. No more delays, no more excuses, no more running. God is waiting, but hear me when I say this. He won't wait forever. There comes a point where hesitation becomes disobedience, where doubt becomes defiance, where waiting becomes wasting. And God didn't call you to waste this calling. He didn't pour anointing into you just for it to sit untouched. He didn't open your eyes just for you to keep them shut. You stand on the edge of something that cannot be undone. Either you step forward into your divine assignment, or you fade into the shadows of what could have been. This is the final step. You can feel it in your bones, can't you? That deep, knowing voice inside of you whispering, "Move. Now." And if you don't, then the door closes. God will not force you to walk through the path He laid for you, but He also won't keep it open forever. That's the weight of this moment. That's the magnitude of what's in front of you. You asked for signs. This is it. You prayed for confirmation. This is it. You begged for direction. This is it. So now, the question isn't if you are chosen. You already know the answer. The question is, will you finally act like it? Chosen one, this is your last warning. Do you realize what's happening in the spirit? The forces against you have already moved. The enemy has already whispered your name in rooms filled with jealousy, fear, and deceit. The very people who smiled in your face have secretly prepared for your downfall. Some have even celebrated it. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing. But for how long? If you do not move now, the weight of delay will crush you. Every time you hesitate, the walls around you tighten. Every time you ignore that inner voice, the chains become heavier. You feel like you're at war with yourself because you are. A war between who you were and who you are called to be. A war between comfort and calling. A war between fear and faith. And let me tell you something. Only one side will survive. Either you step into your power or you let doubt bury you alive. And when it does, no one will come to dig you out. No one will remind you of what you were supposed to do. No one will carry your purpose for you. God is giving you one final chance. You think you have time, but you don't. You think you can wait, but the clock has already struck midnight. This is not about motivation. This is not about feeling ready. This is about obedience. This is about choosing to step into the unknown, even when fear is screaming in your ear. Because let me tell you what happens when you do. Doors will open that you never even knocked on. Favor will rain down like an unstoppable storm. The same people who doubted you will marvel at what God has done. The enemies who plotted your downfall will tremble at the sight of your rise. But only if you move. Hesitation is the graveyard of purpose. Fear is the executioner of destiny. And God is watching, waiting. If you refuse to walk, He will find another. If you refuse to step up, He will pass the anointing to someone else. If you refuse to be who He called you to be, then you were never chosen at all. Do it now, or lose it forever. Chosen one, this is not a casual message. This is a divine assignment. God is waiting for you to show up right now. And if you feel this message shaking something inside of you, then this is for you. Drop A in the comments if you refuse to let fear win. Declare it now, I am moving forward. Type it out, speak it aloud, make the heavens hear you. And if you know another chosen one who needs this, send this to them. Because sometimes a single message is all it takes to pull someone back from the edge. This is your moment of alignment. By engaging, you are stepping into divine agreement. By taking action, you are sealing this contract with faith. This isn't just a video, this is a spiritual activation. So don't just watch, participate, and if you haven't already, subscribe right now. Because chosen ones don't walk this path alone. This is your community, this is your tribe, and together we rise. Now go, step into your destiny. God is watching. Chosen one, listen to me. You are standing in a moment that was written before time itself. Everything you have gone through, the trials, the betrayals, the lonely nights, the relentless battles, has all led you here. You weren't just wandering, you weren't lost, you were being forged. God does not call the weak, He does not choose the timid, He does not anoint the ones who will shrink back into the crowd. He chooses warriors. And chosen one, you were born to conquer. The enemy has tried everything to break you, every setback, every heartbreak, every delay. It wasn't random. It was designed to make you give up. The darkness saw what you could become before you did. That's why you've been attacked so relentlessly. That's why people turned on you for no reason. That's why doors closed when they should have opened. It was all a test. But now there are no more tests. This is it. This is the final step. Either you step into the fire and let it refine you, or you stand still and let it consume you. There is no middle ground. And don't be fooled. God will not drag you across the finish line. He has given you everything. The strength, the wisdom, the resilience. It's already in you. But the last step, that's yours to take. And if you refuse, then the calling goes to someone else. The anointing passes to another. The blessing that was meant for you will be given away, because God's plan never fails. But people do, and He will not wait forever. So I ask you again, chosen one, will you move? Or will you watch your destiny slip through your fingers? You have spent too much time doubting yourself, too much time looking at your past, wondering if you're worthy, too much time measuring yourself against people who were never meant to carry what you carry. You are not like them. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to live an ordinary life. You were never meant to stay in the shallow waters when God built you for the ocean. So why are you still afraid? What more proof do you need that God is with you? After everything you've survived, after everything that was meant to destroy you but didn't, what more do you need to believe? Your pain was not punishment, it was preparation. The people who left you, necessary. The betrayals, essential. The doors that shut. A divine redirection. Everything was working for you, even when it felt like it was working against you. And now, God is saying, enough. No more doubt. No more waiting. It is time. Chosen one, listen to me. You don't have to know how everything will unfold. You don't have to have every detail figured out. You just have to move. Trust is not about understanding. Trust is about surrender. A child does not question whether their parent will provide. They simply trust. That is how you must walk now. Not with fear, not with hesitation, but with bold, unshakable faith. Because if God called you, then He has already made the way. This is your moment. The universe has aligned for you. Heaven is watching. The angels are waiting. Everything is ready. But are you? Do you know what holds most people back? Fear of lack. Fear that they won't have enough. Fear that they will lose. Fear that if they take a step forward, nothing will be there to catch them. But chosen one, hear me clearly. You were never meant to live in lack. The God who created you is not a God of scarcity. He is not a God of struggle. He is not a God of barely getting by. He is a God of abundance. Look at the sky. Does it run out of stars? Look at the ocean. Does it run out of water? Look at the trees. Do they run out of leaves? Then why would you ever run out of what you need? The only thing that can stop your abundance is fear. Fear shuts the doors that God already opened. Fear blinds you to the provision that was sent your way. Fear keeps you in survival mode when you were made for overflow. But today, that fear dies, because today you declare that you trust. You declare that God is your provider. You declare that everything you need is already on its way. Chosen one, let this sink into your spirit. You will not fail. You will not fall. You will not lack. The moment you move, provision will meet you. The second you take that step, everything you need will appear. You are not walking alone. You are not unprotected. God is going before you. And the ones who doubted you, the ones who whispered that you were crazy, the ones who sat back and laughed at your struggles, they will watch in shock as you rise. Because when God decides to elevate you, no man can stop it. So step forward with confidence. Move like you know who you are. Walk like you already have the victory. Because you do. This is your moment. This is your confirmation. This is your final step. Take it. Chosen one, it is time to silence the voices that never had the authority to speak over your destiny. You have been mocked, misunderstood, questioned by people who never saw the vision God placed inside of you. They have labeled you as arrogant, delusional, or foolish simply because you refuse to live life on their level. But what they don't realize is you were never meant to fit in. You were always set apart. You were always destined to walk a path they could never understand. Do you know why they doubt you? Because they can't comprehend what God is doing in your life. They only see what's in front of them, but God sees what's inside of you. They can't understand how someone like you, someone they thought was ordinary, keeps rising, keeps surviving, keeps shining. But what they fail to see is that you are not moving on your own. You carry a fire within you that no man can put out. A lighthouse does not dim itself when the storm rages. It shines even brighter, and neither should you. Your anointing is not up for debate. Your purpose is not up for discussion. Your destiny is not in the hands of those who try to diminish you. So let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them whisper. None of it changes what is already written about you in heaven. They cannot block what God has already released. They cannot curse what God has already blessed. And when your breakthrough arrives, they will have no choice but to watch. They will see you standing in the very places they said you'd never reach. They will witness the overflow of abundance that they claimed you'd never have. And they will realize too late that they were never fighting against you. They were fighting against God. Chosen one, let this sink into your soul. You do not have to prove anything to anyone. You do not have to seek validation from those who never saw your worth. You do not have to explain your blessings to people who were never meant to receive them. The only thing you have to do is rise. It is time to unlearn the lie that told you success was selfish. It is time to reject the belief that you are not worthy of abundance. It is time to release the guilt of wanting more. Chosen one, listen closely. Wealth is not the enemy. Scarcity is. The world taught you to fear abundance, to associate struggle with holiness, to believe that suffering is proof of faith. But let me tell you something. God never called you to lack. How can you fulfill your purpose if you are constantly in survival mode? How can you bless others when you are barely making it yourself? How can you pour into the world when your own cup is empty? God does not provide just enough. He provides more than enough. Look at creation. Do trees bear a single fruit and stop? No, they overflow. Do rivers trickle just enough to drink? No, they rush endlessly. Do the stars scatter themselves thinly across the sky? No, they stretch beyond what the eye can see. So why would your blessings be any different? You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to thrive, to flourish, to walk in the divine inheritance that is already yours. Wealth in the right hands is a tool, a force for good, a weapon against darkness. And God is placing that wealth in your hands because He knows you will use it wisely. You will build, you will uplift, you will restore. And as you do, the floodgates of heaven will continue to pour into your life. Because the more you give, the more you receive. The more you bless, the more you are blessed. The more you walk in faith, the more God multiplies your provision. This is your new reality. This is your new declaration. I am abundant. I am chosen. I am a vessel for divine wealth, and I use it to bring light into this world. Say it, believe it, and watch as the universe bends in your favor. Chosen one, everything you have been given was not just for you. You were never meant to climb to the top and stand there alone. You were called to pull others up with you. That is the true purpose of abundance. Not to hoard, not to cling to it in fear, but to use it as a force of transformation. When you walk in your divine purpose, others will be freed just by watching you. Your courage will inspire those still trapped in fear. Your success will break generational curses in your bloodline. Your faith will set off a chain reaction in the lives of those around you. Because when one chosen one rises, the whole world shifts. You are not just here to receive blessings, you are here to be a blessing. You are not just here to break chains for yourself, you are here to break them for generations to come. So stand tall in your calling. Own the power you carry. Be the light in a world desperate for direction. Because the moment you do, the floodgates of divine abundance will never stop flowing. Chosen one, hear me one last time. Your breakthrough is not coming, it is already here. Your abundance is not on the way, it has already been released. Your time is not next, it is now. No more waiting, no more doubting, no more fearing. The heavens have declared it. The universe has aligned it. The path is already set. Now walk in it. This is your final step. Take it boldly. Take it fearlessly. Take it with the full knowing that God Himself has ordained it. And when you do, everything will change. No force can stop you. No enemy can block you. No power can undo what is already done. You are chosen. You are powerful. You are walking in divine victory. Say it aloud. Claim it now. Drop A in the comments if you are stepping into your divine destiny. And if you are ready for this journey, subscribe right now. Because this is not just a message, it is an awakening. And this is only the beginning. Now go. Rise. Step forward. Own what is already yours. The universe is waiting. Heaven is watching. And God is smiling. This is your moment. Take it.